Hello, you, and welcome to this our first edition of our podcast, where we have the opportunity to interview a successful young mind here in Cameroon, someone that is took part at the TiC Summit 2025. Together with his team, they were able to win the second prize at a national competition here in Cameroon. More to that, he's just 12 and is already having brilliant ideas, having brilliant creations. And more to that, the guy is passionate about robotics, web development, and more. He keeps learning, building new inventions, and he's here today to motivate us on this podcast. If you find what he's saying interesting, do subscribe to increase this our podcast rate of reaching many other people and inspiring others here in Africa. So, without further ado, I'll ask to you, Niven. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, everyone.
So, how are you?
I'm fine, doing better.
Okay, nice to see you on our podcast. It's a pleasure actually having you. Yeah. So I know actually someone which was part of a team. So can you since they're not here, the other members of the teams are not here, can you give us their names, what were their different roles, and just give us a brief summary of what was your project at the TiC Summit?
Okay, firstly, the names of my team members, we had Divine, we had Jean-Baptiste, Bavwe, and Elian Jones. Divine's role was he helped us in designing the project to be more beautiful, and Jean-Baptiste's role, he was a good person who knew coding, and he also helped in building the mechanics of our machine.
Exactly.
We also have Elian Jones, which he helped us to increase our business strategy. He gave us new business strategies, and Bavwe, which our role in the team was perfecting our pitch, giving us new styles to include in our pitch. So that's their role. And our project was all about a drilling machine that could find water underground. This is how the project would look like. It was a drilling machine that has a drill in front. It has a sensor, a combination of two sensors to make one, which was a radar level sensor and a ground penetrating radar, something like that. Our sensor was very good, and we were so lucky that we were able to join the sensor to be one sensor that we could work together. So we attached the sensor to our mechanics, and it was detecting the underground. The machine was just all about drilling and water findings.
Okay. So you built a machine that could find water in the soil and take it to the surface and distribute to the population. So with that machine, which problem were you able to solve?
We're solving the problem of water scarcity in the north, in Korea Kuseri precisely. But we noticed that in Korea Kuseri, there was over 60 to 70% of water scarcity in northern Korea Kuseri. So that's why we decided to solve the problem of water scarcity. We know water is a vital aspect in man's living standard.
That's true.
We use water we drink water, and we use water to do the various things like we wash our dishes, we do many things. So we cannot live without water, and we know water is life. That's why I and my team members decided to come out with an impressive project called the Water Exploring Machine.
Yes. And if I want to ask, what inspired you to see that problem and solve the problem?
What inspired us to see the problem and solve the problem was just something mockery to us in our quarters. You know, some of us in our quarters, like me precisely in my quarter, when you go to carry water, sometimes they tell you that there's no water. Even though there's water, they tell you there's no water, just because they don't want to give you that, economizing water such a way that it will only be for them. And you also notice that sometimes water bills are too much, and you start making people to decrease the rate of giving people water. Sometimes you hear a gallon of water is 50 francs, 100 francs, but when normally water is life, it's supposed to be free. So what really inspired us to come up with an idea like that was just thinking of how our past life is like. We go to ask water, there's water, they tell us that there's no water. Sometimes even when we find it's dirty. So how can we solve the problem? That's how we asked ourselves, and we came out with such a project.
Wow. That's actually a brilliant way of coming out with a project. From what you said, this is what I think, that you both had a problem first of all in your community, where you were facing water issues, and when you go to buy the water, it's actually there. So you go thought now and kind of brought out a solution that was solving that problem. Now you're saying that water is actually there. Now with your project, will the water be free? Because you're actually building a machine that will help take water on the soil and distribute it around. Will it be free?
water will be like, we are selling the machine
Yes.
to those who are buying it. When they buy it,
Yes.
it's their decision now to, like, the machine will give more water, so it will be too much of water.
Exactly.
So the people will like they have a lot of water. Why is it that we don't give some to those who do not have water? And that's how they'll start saying they'll reduce the price of those who like buying water, and the price of buying water will go down. Since companies that produce sachet water, now they'll now have that machine, which will like they'll reduce the price of water, since maybe the source in which they are using to get water is difficult. That's why the price is high. So our machine is like reducing the stress of having water, then increasing and automating water finding.
Okay. So it reduces the stress of having water and automates the water finding. It means that the machine can automatically detect water in the soil.
Yes, sir.
And then where there's water, it traces automatically water takes to the surface and people can distribute it around.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's nice, that's nice. And can you explain a little bit detailedly what the solution is really about? Like, how do you even have the idea to come up with such a solution?
Okay, our solution was that since we noticed that the problem is water scarcity, we came out with a solution. We usually see in films, like sometimes cartoons, they usually see a drill.
Yeah.
So we were like, sometimes we see a drill and it's in the form of a car and we see it digging.
Exactly.
But why can't we instead make it a way that when it's drilling, it's instead finding water?
Yes.
From there, we started having ideas of coming out with a drill that will help tip the ground to find water.
Yeah.
Because first of all, we were like frustrated. What is really going to tip the ground to find water? We're like, are we going to make an automatic spade that will dig the ground? For one of my team members, Jean Baptiste, came out with an idea that sometimes you see in cartoons that there's a drill that digs the ground, and when you dig the ground, it goes right under. So why can't we use that drill to drill the ground, then the sensors to have the water, then the pipe to drag out the water? So from there, we came out with the solution that we will build a machine that will have a drill, a smart sensor that will be combined together to give one sensor that can help detect the distance from the water to the surface, and really know the right position to dig, because we cannot be digging randomly. Because if we want to start digging randomly, by the end of the day, we'll notice that we have dug everywhere. So we decided to come out with a special sensor called a GPS that tracks only the location to dig. That will lead us to a particular point of water. Another thing was that if there's an obstacle under the ground, we thought of that too. If there's an obstacle under the ground, like a stone. Yes, like a stone. We are now going to make it in such a way that the GPS is going to track another location that we can dig to have that same water. Like it will be now used as another road to find that same position of water under the ground. So that's how we came out with the solution. Even though it was like difficult for us to take time, but we took a lot of time to have a good solution.
Okay. While explaining, I only see that you and your team, you guys master the design thinking methodologies. First of all, you brainstorm on the problem. What was the problem all about? The problem that you faced in your community. Then you didn't just see a problem in your community like normal the youth around and just say, it's no problem. But you just saw the problem and decided to solve that problem in the community by coming out with the automatic drilling machine. So this machine have a name?
Yes, we gave the name the water exploring machine.
Okay, the water exploring machine. So you guys came out with this water exploring machine. And doing the course, people had many ideas, whether it would be a spade that would be digging the ground, but people saw that would not be good. Then I people saw like the idea that I got from cartoons. Having a drill, and a drill that people decided to adapt was a drill that could at the same time dig the ground and monitor if there's water anywhere. And I think that also sensors that detect that stones, things like that, as you said. That's nice. That showed that people didn't just come up with the solution or copy the solution. People actually brainstorm on how this solution will be suitable to the needs of those that are in need of it. And you're even talking about a particular place in the north. What was it?
Kolea
Kuseri. Yeah, it means people did a lot of research. Went right up to knowing that in the north at Kolea Kuseri, they really suffer from drought. And then these sensors, this machine will really help them take water from the soil, take it to the surface and distribute. That's actually nice. In the stage of like coming out with this solution, do you people have like face challenges?
Yes, we faced so much of challenges in the place of coming out with the solution. Like it was really challenging for us to leave school, since we do not have phones, no laptops. and we do not really like, our parents were not really like leaving us to do the project, but we did it.
Yes.
So we had to leave from school, come right after 3 o'clock when they close school, 3:30, we come right to Polytechnic, ask for someone's laptop and make research and start working on our project. And sometimes we go back to our houses at 6 o'clock. And our parents will start shouting at us. So we face so much of difficulties. Difficulties from our parents, like saying that we should not do it. Does not have any benefits for us. They were thinking that it was something like nothing, we are not going to gain anything from it, that at the end we gain something. And also we're also like stressed up. And the worst one was that the TiC Summit came during when we were writing our exams. So we were like, what are we going to do first? Are we going to read? What time are we going to take to read our books? We close school at 3:30, come to Polytechnic, work on our projects. Then by 6 o'clock we'll be going back home. What we reach in the house, how we help our parents to do work? No time to help our parents to do work and no time to read. So it was like too choked up for us, too much of work for us during that same period. And even there was a time that we had the day of the TiC Summit semi-finals. We were writing exam on that day, that same day, and the exam began late, in which the TiC Summit started at 8 o'clock. Then exam started at 9 something, which we were finishing exam around 11, and TiC Summit started at 8. So we were like asking for help, frustrated, asking. They were telling us that we are going to miss it, but we said no, we cannot miss it. So we went to Mr. Bill. We told him about it. He told us that okay, for that reason, we are going to put our pitching time behind, so that we are going to have a little bit of time to come and catch up, because we cannot just pitch so early. So we told him that will be in Polytechnic, where the pitching session is going to be held, where the competition is going to be held around 11 to 12. So that's what we told him, and he was able to make it possible for us to come and present our project, even in that time after writing exams in school. And there were some times we also missed we missed one of our exams. Yes, we missed it because we wanted to participate for the competition and brainstorm again more, to have more ideas. So we missed one of our exams, and which that was chemistry. But the chemistry teacher at the end, he did not really like validate the exam, because he saw that many people were not in his class. So we're lucky that God helped us and he did not validate the exams.
Okay, that's nice. It actually showed that you guys had passion in the project. Because it was something that, from what you said, you had a lot of challenges.
Yes, sir.
Being in school, after school, you have to come to Polytechnic, try to build one or two things, borrow even somebody's laptop. That's people did not even have resources in the beginning. People had to look where people can borrow somebody's laptop, work with that, and then try to build your solution.
Yes, sir.
And then more to that, again, on the day that you were either having to work or even for the competition, you had exams.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and then either you missed the exam because you had to work on the project, you had to solve a solution in a community, and that's actually something of place. Because
Yes,
most youths like you outsiders, they're like, nice, I cannot miss my exams. So go and maybe pursue something that I don't know. Even your parents were discouraging you, that will not help you. But like you believed in yourself. You're like, yes, my parents don't want that, I should do this. But I know what I'm going to gain from that competition and from solving that problem. So you guys worked hard on it, built a solution, and when I presented it at the TiC Summit, you guys won the second prize. Congrats again for that. Yeah. And I want to also ask this. Since you said you're actually a student, that many students also out there.
Yes, sir.
How do you find a place that you could come and work on your project?
We mostly work on our project during break, like when they give break. We go to the computer laboratory, since we do not have computers and or laptops.
Yes.
And there was no time for us to like say we'll go back home and do it. Many of us do not have laptops, so no one could say I'll go home and do it. It was really challenging. So when they give us a 50 minutes break in school, we go to the computer lab. Sometimes they refuse us to enter. When we go to the computer lab, build one or two things. Then after school, we come again to Polytechnic and do something. So our two main places was the computer lab and Polytechnic. But even though in the computer lab they're always driving us that we should not enter the lab, from 5 they are preparing, lower seat they are doing that. So our two main places, our main place was Polytechnic, since they're always accepting us to camp up.
Okay. I guess those that were actually at Polytechnic saw your passion and they were like, yes, let's allow these students to actually work.
Yes.
And from what you haven't saying, you started in your school lab, they were driving people that from 5 students have to do this, that. But people didn't give up, found to another place at Polytechnic, which is a school of engineering.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and there people could get a space where people could work on your project.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's nice, that's nice. And doing this part of like working on this project, in your team, do you go out the leader, and how did the leader manage to like lead that team from a point of not even having a project to a point of being a winner at the TiC Summit?
Okay, we had a leader.
Yeah.
Our leader was Niven.
Yes.
Yes, we chose him because he was like someone who was funky. He liked to play. He was like always. He don't like when there's problem in the team.
Wow.
He was always making sure. He was always like when we are like under pressure. He will always bring funny things. We'll start laughing, playing, forgetting sometimes that we have a project to work on.
Yeah.
He was like calming us down each time that we were like distressed, very distressed. He was calming us down by cracking jokes, playing sometimes. We'll come out and play. We'll be calling him that come, let's work. He'll say no. For that, when he was saying no, sure he had a reason that we are so distressed. So let us go a little bit and play and have some fun. Or sometimes he will even say let's practice for our pitch.
Yeah.
Even the girl usually say in that way, she force us that let's practice our pitch.
Yeah.
I saw doing not only sitting one place and working on computer and our project, we also were like also walking up and down, pitching. Then there was also a time that they told us that we had to pitch a 1 minute pitch.
Yes.
From there, our team lead and the girl, they were trying like to give each and every one of us, since we were 5 of us in our team, give like 10 minutes for one person to pitch.
Yes.
10 seconds, I mean to say.
Yeah, 10 seconds makes sense.
Yes. So we were like, how can a long pitch of like 30 lines, how can we say it in 1 second? It was challenging, but we took time like 3 days. Came out, we were able to summarize our pitch ourselves, not using AI, because we knew if we could use AI could summarize it in a way that we could cram it instead.
Yeah.
But we instead said, go home, summarize your pitch yourself, and make it in a way that you can pitch it for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Since we knew that the problem and the solution was a priority during the TiC Summit, so we said problem should have 20 minutes, solution should have 20 minutes, and the rest should be able to squeeze theirs in few minutes. So that's how we came out, and our team lead was the one giving us ideas on how to summarize our pitch, and he was also like helping me personally to give me body language, even the girl, because when we first of all pitched, they told us that it's no one lifting our team up, everyone is just pitching low. The girl came out with the solution that one person should be the one lifting the team, and by so doing,
and that one person was the leader.
Yes.
Okay.
No, I was the one who was lifting the team.
Okay.
So now,
and when you say lifting the team, lifting in which sense?
Like bringing more
energy,
and audience admiring the team. Like on your pitch, your body language, and your grammar in which you speak. You should also impress the audience. So it was only one to two people who was doing that. This was the problem and the uniqueness people were teaching that. And our team leader also generated body languages for us. And was also a good team leader during that period. Even though sometimes we used to play with him, he used to make us play, and we used to lose time sometimes, but he was also good.
Yeah. That's actually good to see that a young team like this had like this concept of leadership, so to have a leader that is leading them towards a direction. And one thing that I love about your leader is that he's not only someone that was forcing people to work. You can work because of time. When you see that maybe people are stressed, you bring in some play in it, that make it fun. Then after people get back to the project, yeah, that's actually a good principle to like distress people. Yeah, there's also this like Pomodo test when you use in study. You can use maybe 25 minutes to study. After you have like 5 more minutes to relax before going back to the study. And that's kind of the same principle that your leader used into your team. And also, what I love was that I saw that you yourself and your team even, people understood from what the mentors told you people how to pitch. So like you said, you were the one bringing up your team. And I love what you said, bringing up your team with the body language, with your voice, the pitch, everything was good. Yeah, I actually love that. How old are you again, your team?
Yeah, 12. There are 3 people that are 12, 1 11 and 1 10.
Wow. That's 10, 11, 2 people 12. That's super nice, you know. There are young people even out there that that would even 10, that would even 12, but they're still doing nothing with their lives.
Yes.
But here are you guys doing amazing things for your own country, and you guys are already national champions. Like winning the second prize at the TiC Summit is not something of easy, because I know that there were people there that are from Opasi, people there that were even right from Douala. They won the national competition in Douala, came here to Yaoundé to compete. And you just young kids like that, you were able to pitch your projects, pitch it again in a convincing manner.
Yes.
That many people win that second prize. Yes, but there's this one question. People won the second prize, why not the first?
We did not win the first because we're not having like resources to build our prototype. Like during that period, we were like, how are we going to have money? How are we going to have money to build a prototype even without our parents giving us support? They were instead discouraging us, but we stood up by our team leader, our teammate Jean Baptiste. He told us that let's not give up. But me, I was instead saying that without a prototype, we cannot win the TiC Summit.
Yeah.
He encouraged us and told me that no, let us do it in Tinkaka. That if we can do it in Tinkaka and it works very well, smoothly, the same thing that it's going to apply in real life, we are going to win.
Wow.
And he said it like a joke. We knew that no, it's impossible. How can we just go with the software when we are saying we are doing hardware?
People have some unbelief.
Yes, and those who are doing the hardware, they'll really bring the physical project and will be like jealous and like give up. But he kept the courage, saying that no, we should do it in Tinkaka. And during doing it in Tinkaka, that time we did not get too much of robotics. We were like, no, we do research, try to apply it. It's not working. We go home, we say tomorrow maybe it's going to work, try, come back, it will not work. And there was even the time that we almost finished our circuit when it was like 2 weeks to the regional competition. We almost finished our circuit, and when we were like to complete it, the next time we came to complete our circuit, the Tinkaka was no more opening.
Wonderful.
The circuit page was no more opening. It was like closed. We will refresh for good internet connection for it to reload. It was not opening. It took like 3 days waiting for it to open. It was not opening.
And people did not get the storage all through that time.
We got discouraged. We already said that we're not more getting good. But Jean Baptiste kept the courage in us with the girl. They kept the courage in us saying that let's redo it again. We did it again for the next time, and it was successful. We did it well, and it was like smooth. Then at the last hour, when it was remaining like 1 day to the semi-finals, our code was not working. Something was wrong. Our servo motors were not turning in order to bend the drill for it to make it to drill the ground. But we know if a drill is like this, if we turn it, it will be turning and facing through. We needed something that will bend it.
Exactly, and that's the use of the servo motor.
We used the servo motor, and it was not working. But there was one person who solved the problem, which was Jean Baptiste. He just came, did some few little things, and it was done. So we were like, miracle.
Oh, I'm telling you.
Well, how did he do it?
I can imagine you enjoyed that time.
That time we were very happy. Then the next day we just came, we built a little carton prototype. Then we were like, anyhow, and we are going to do it anyhow. But all is that, let us give all of our intention in pitching and body language and looking at the judges in their eyes to be as if we were like speaking to them about a business that they were able to sponsor us. So that's how we came out with, and we won the regional competition. Then for the funds, we do not have funds because our parents, they were not like accepting to give us money, just thinking that we're not doing something that would benefit to us. So they did not give us money. What we did is that we were keeping our money little by little, saving little. I'm even sure we were able to raise something like close to 15,000, if I can say. Then build only 5 of us, close to 15,000. We bought few things like a wheel. We bought a motor that's going to spin the wheel, the hobby gear motors, and we also bought a glue gun, which was offered to us by our teacher, and we also bought an Arduino. So, but it was not insufficient, for we knew that only our budget plan for that prototype was 100 and something thousand, and we're not able to do it.
That means you did a budget.
Yes, we had a budget plan of the complete prototype, of the real machine, and we had a budget plan of the prototype only. And which was divided into 3 versions. Each version has a budget plan of the final machine, and each version has a budget plan of the prototype.
I'm getting inspired because I myself at my age, when I was 10 even to 12, I didn't have this idea or this notion that for anything I had to do, I can do a budget for it. Maybe let me say my mother would tell me that to cook. I would just be like, okay, I'm going to cook. I would never ask like what are the spices, the price of the spices. I would just take any amount of money, go to the market. What I buy, what I don't buy, I buy. But you guys already had a budget before going and even buying. That's always something of nice. And I want to ask you this question. You said people had different versions and they had with their budget plan and even the cost of the machine.
Yes, sir.
So your machine, how much did it cost? How many versions were there first?
We had 3 versions.
Yes.
Which was we named the first one the 0.5 version,
0.5.
second one 2.2 version, and the third one 3.3 version.
Wow.
Firstly, the 0.5 version was just all about drilling and water findings. We saw the problem. First of all, thought the problem and said that okay, we are suffering from water, but now our team member came out with the idea that we are only going to drill the water, but we know that there's also death in water.
Exactly.
So how can we also solve the problem of death in water? We decided to come out with another solution called the 2.2 version.
Yes.
That was drilling, water findings, and also water purification. So it drills the water, it brings it up to the surface, and we purify it. So then we also thought of like adding another version for those who want to like see how the underground structure looks.
Yes.
So we decided to add a camera to the third version, which was a 3.3 version. It has an external camera which you could connect with your phone, your laptops, or your television. That's how. Then the 3.3 version, the final version price was $1 million. The 2.2 version, the price was like 800 and something thousand, and the last version, which was the 0.5 version, which was 600,000.
Okay. I get. Coming out with this budget, people like have a methodology. They just think that since I have this machine will be this price, or is there a way of coming out with it?
We came out with it like we calculated all our instruments for the prototype only. It gave a sum of 100 and something thousand. Now we saw that if we want to make it in a bigger model, the price would like double to 200 and something thousand. So we were like, okay, how are we going to do? Because we had an idea of building a company at the end. We said a company that the government is going to take some share. We are going to pay taxes.
Wait, that means people didn't just have the project, but you have a plan of building a project actually in the future.
So
that's nice.
That's why the final version had high money because you know we had to pay taxes. Also, few things like by that time we need to be updating the machine. We need more updates, and we calculated it like only for that it could be going around 400,000. So we were like, okay, let us make it in a way that we also are going to benefit, because we will not just do something that we will not benefit from.
That's true.
That means we're not doing anything reasonable. So we decided to give for the first version 600,000, which our gain inside was something 200,000 or 300,000.
Exactly.
And for the next version, which was the 2.2, I will know we added some few external features to it, which was a smart.
Wait, let me ask you something. When you leave from version 1 to version 2, is version 1 combined with the functionalities of version 2? How is it?
Yeah, version 1. The functionalities of version 1.
Oh, the functionalities are all different. How are they?
They are like.
Let me
explain.
Yes.
Functionalities of version 1. Version 2 had the external.
Okay.
The functionalities of version 2. Version 3 had the external. So it was like version 2 had version 1 in external features, and version 3 had version 2 in external features.
Okay. I get. It means that you were constantly ameliorating the project.
Yes.
I think from what you explained earlier was that you first thought about the machine that could drill and find the water. That was version 1.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but drilling and finding the water does not really solve the problem. So people saw the way you purify the water using another machine.
Yes.
So not only drilling, you purify the water, version 2. Then now version 3, you drill, purify, and now be able to distribute it all around.
Yes, sir.
And now all that combined version 3. Actually, that's nice. That shows that people are constantly ameliorating on the project.
Yes.
Constantly ameliorating on the idea, so that I can specifically solve the problem that the community was facing. Yeah, I actually like the concept. And through this journey, did you guys have mentors? Let me say, even before the TiC Summit, while working on the project, did you have a mentor that was mentoring you on it, or you just had all these brilliant ideas?
We had a mentor that was like, we were like pursuing him to teach us robotics. Since in the beginning, we do not know so much on robotics. Just little knowledge of robotics.
Yeah, it means he was not even your mentor, but people were following him so that he can be your mentor.
Yes.
That's nice.
We're like pursuing him. He should teach us more on robotics.
Yes.
And we should go and participate for the TiC Summit, even
Yes.
without the knowledge of what we want to do. Without the knowledge of robotics. So during that period, he was like, he pitied us and he was teaching us little, just the basics.
Yeah, exactly.
Little. Every after, it was on Fridays, after school, we go to our computer lab, we learn with him little. He explained to us some few things, even though we're not like building it physically. We're not really building it physically, I can say. But we were like, he taught us few things, and just with that, his little knowledge he gave us, we were able to implement something. Then during the period of like before the regional, like 1 week to the regional, we had a mentor. That mentored us, but it was not sufficient for us to participate with the regional. He gave us few ideas. He mentored us by giving us new pitching styles, giving us like the rules and the regulations of that day. Things that the ways in which can maybe be successful at the end of the day. So he helped us. He gave us the steps. We followed the steps. We did not ignore, even though he gave us a mentor when it was already late. So we followed the steps and came out with something like that. Then at the end, which was the finals, we were able like to give us more. He increased he arranged our PowerPoint, gave us a little bit of ideas so that we can go and present on the final day of the TiC Summit. So we had a mentor late. Then we had another person which we were like follow him in school, asking him questions, and he was giving us back replies, even though he did not help us in any way for our prototype.
Okay, I get. That shows on a journey to success, it's good to have a mentor.
Yes, sir.
Yes, because it shows him at the beginning people did not have a mentor, but people were passionate about what you wanted to do.
Yes.
So people first found a mentor that was in your school. He explained to people a little bit about robotics. At TiC Summit, you had the mentor before the regionals. You had the mentor even late. But the small advice I gave people applied it. People didn't just ignore the advice, but applied it. He helped took you guys from the regional to the finals. And for the finals, people still kept applying what they were taught. From the teacher that taught people robotics, taught people how to teach, applied all what they taught, and people were able to have that second prize.
Yes, sir.
That's actually nice. It shows that people were able to apply what the mentor gave people. It's actually something that's very good, very good. That's each young youth even growing up should have a mentor. Because having a mentor is like having something that or somebody that can directly throw it back that you want to follow.
Yes,
and
sir.
one thing is also that you need to also have that passion in you, that passion to follow that mentor. Because as you said, at the beginning people did not have a mentor, but people found someone that could be your mentor and kept on following him, kept on being in the laboratory at that specific time so that you can teach people some 1 or 2 things on robotics. That's actually nice. That's really nice. And I want to ask you this. Most teams, like most teams are like boys, girls. It's rare to see a team that is mixed between boys and girls. What made you people have a mixed team?
What made us have a mixed team was that we could not even be having a girl. We had a girl because during it was like the hackathon, during our third hackathon, something like that, they told us that we need to have a girl in our team. That is going to help increase our chance, because they told us that now in our days, girls mostly like things like fashion, mode. They do not really like tech. When you tell them about tech, they were like, what am I doing with it? If for something fashion, I could do. Now, we even had a girl. It was difficult for us to have a girl because we asked 2 girls. They told us that no. One was interested, but she said her mother will not really like it. Her father will not like her doing it. So she was like, she'll continue with what she loved doing.
Yes.
Then the other girl told us that no, if for something mode, she would like it too. She's closing late from school. Her mother will start shouting at her. So we're like then second
you
girl
guys, your mothers were shouting at people, but people kept doing what you were doing.
Yes, sir.
That's nice.
Then the third girl, which was the girl presently in Zimbabwe, she before we told her, she was like wise to tell us that let me first of all discuss with my mother, so she should be d'accord with it.
Yes.
So when we were like praying that her mother should accept, she should accept, so that we will be able to take the girl, then give her 1 or 2 things chance to pitch on that day, then she pitched it there. That increased her chances to go to the next level. So when she came out with the result, that her mother said yes, she can do it. As far as it's going to give to her child benefit, she can do it. We were happy. Then from there, we generated a pitch. Then we told her to put it in a way that she will be able to master it. Not the way that we'll be able to master it, but the way she will be able to master it, so that she will not forget. So she was interested, and it was becoming more interesting because she was not like only there for us to use her and win, but she also gave us more ideas that improved us. We were like pitching boring, but she added more things into it, like body language and styles to pitch, and increased our grammar. Like me, I was first of all saying I and my friends, but she instead said my friends and I. So it was like she was giving us more grammar, giving us more things that increased our pitch and our body language. So she was not only like something to increase us, to push us in front, but she was also with us very well.
That's an advantage of having a girl. You know, girls are people that they like actually to focus. They like actually when something is perfect. So like that girl brought the perfection in your team. What's her name again? Bavu. Wow. That's actually a nice name. And I actually like the way that mentor was able to tell guys to put a girl in your team. And you both went around finding girls. Some two said no, but you both found one that could say yes, join the team. I both collaborate around. And I also say it's actually good to first of all also have a validation from your parents before actually joining anything. But sometimes your parents may not also know what you want to do. I may not be that cool as your kids. Why here are you? You are somebody that won a lot of thousands, and your parents were not that cool with that. But that passion made you like being stubborn to them for a high cause, and that was something good. Being stubborn to your parents for a high cause, not to go and play ball, not to go and do something of business. You was actually doing something of useful with the time that you were out of school. They went home, though they shouted at you, you knew what you were doing, and that was something good. And let me ask you, it's true that your parents at the beginning they were like angry and shouting at you. When you won that prize, or you and your team, how did your parents feel?
Like they were very, very happy. Even on the day that we were making the finals, we told our parents, like me, I told my dad and I told my mom, she said she will not be there because she has her things to do, and she don't even know why I came in to do it. That she will not be there. Then my father is that called to go. He should go. So my father said, okay, let me just go and see what you were telling me. If it was a lie or it's true you were saying. Like my other teammate, parents came, like our team leader, his father came, and Jean Baptiste, his mother came. And when they came, even though they were not there when we were pitching, because we were the first to pitch on that day, and which was like we were not ready to pitch on that day because two of us were absent at that time, Jean Baptiste and our team lead. Since they live far, they live in Van, and the event took place at Helen Hotel. So they were like, they will leave in Van, reaching Helen Hotel will be very late. So they tried their best. They came, even when it was already too late, when we were already climbing to pitch only the three of us, even though we had to pitch at the five of us, but they were running and coming at the time when we needed them. So they ran and came when it was late, when we were already climbing to pitch. So from there they came. Then our parents were not yet there. Then after, when we have pitched, people are already pitching, it's already going far, like left three or more people to pitch, and we go for the next to the next thing that happened on that day. At the time our parents came and they were like, what have we done? We have not pitched anything. They just came and they sat the end. They were like, they want to see how the end is going to look like, who will win. So they were like ignored, they were bored, saying that they didn't even see what they wanted to come and see because they came late. So then when at the end they called the first, they fit to the first. When they called us the second place, they were very, very happy that we did not fail them. We proved them wrong.
Exactly.
What they thought was wrong, we instead showed them that it was right.
Exactly. What your parents thought was wrong, you showed them that it was right. That's actually something good. That's something. I like the passion that people had. I like the belief that the team member had to keep pushing people to keep working on the project. And one thing that I want to ask is, how did you guys keep going when people had the unbelief? People were not feeling like going anymore. When you were like trying to open the website of ThinkCard, it wasn't even running. How do you both feel?
It felt so bad. I even felt to stop the TiC Summit, but one thing that made us to continue was we said we have already registered with 5,000 francs, and we are living in the middle when we have not even like get any results from our money.
And that money of registration, you pay the one that contributed for it.
No, that one our parents just said, just go and register.
Yeah, they get
But at
you
the
the money.
end, if I don't see the result,
Yes.
we are going to like.
Yeah. But people made at least an effort, contributed
Yes.
15,000 to buy the equipment.
But even though they were not d'accord,
They were not
give us
d'accord.
money for equipment.
Yeah.
The thing that even made them to contribute was like they sent it in the group,
Yes.
and when they saw it in their phones, something that they have to give 5,000. So they were like, they should just give it. But even though they are not d'accord with it, if we fail, we are going to see with them. And if we were like truth about it,
Yeah.
it was just like.
I actually love the way you like move your parents home. What they thought was wrong, people make them know that it was right. That's actually something. Parents should believe in their kids. Even if they don't believe, let them try to like look at what the children are doing to know that actually you guys are doing something of good or bad. And it was actually something of good that people were doing. It was something of very excellent. And again, you made your parents happy, even though they were angry sometimes, shouting sometimes. At the end, you made them happy by showing them the hard work that people put in. And coming back to the house late, you working at the TiC Hub, all of that, it was actually a good stuff. Congrats again once more to you guys. It's actually something very inspiring. Yeah. Most youths need to listen to this and get a lot of inspiration from you guys, because it's actually something of hard to be 10, to be 11 or even 12, come out with such a solution, pitch it to like investors. It was not like the average people that were there. People were competing against people in upper seat, people in lower seat, people in Form 5, people in which class?
And that time we went from 2.
From 2, and people won all of these guys. That's something so brilliant and very nice. Now, on this podcast, like kids like you who are watching, there are even kids above your age that have not even started doing the great things that you are doing. There are even mothers or parents of those kids watching this video or listening to this podcast too. So like, what do you have to tell them on behalf of your team to make them inspired and believe in themselves so that they can also work on such a project or look for a problem that their community is facing and solve that?
All I can say to advise them is that they should never give up in any situation. Whether they say they are too little, too big, or like any problem within them.
Yeah.
If they believe that they can solve, they can do it, they should do it. They should not believe that, even without the necessary funds,
Yeah.
try to look for a way that you are going to even manage. Like us, we do not have money to build a prototype, but we used a website called Tinkercad and we
Yeah.
built our prototype inside. So like, never be discouraged in anything you want to do. Everything you want to do, have faith in it that it's going to work.
Yeah.
Even though some of us in our team we were discouraged at some point, but thank God we had one person who was always keeping the motivation in us. So always from this, you should always keep the motivation in you that you can do it and you will do it. So that's what I can say.
Always keep that belief, that motivation that you can do it and you will do it. And now that people have won the second prize at TiC Summit, what next?
What next was that we are going to like, we're thinking to start a business at a certain age. When we reach from 3 going to Form 4, we're thinking to start a business.
Yeah.
Or start even like designing a company.
Yes.
Yes, but like now we are trying to build our website.
Yeah.
For like, it's
I
not.
think that's why people are learning web development in the podcast.
Yes.
Okay, nice.
Like that's why it's not only people in Korea who say that will suffer.
Exactly.
When we start advertising the project,
Mm.
it will go viral and people around the world will see like it's good. But how are they
Yes.
going to reach us?
Exactly.
So we decided to create a website. That through that website you can buy our project in Cameroon.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
For those who are out, that can reach also the project in Cameroon.
That's why something nice. Like things now, like people don't have the necessary resource to like build an actual machine.
Yes.
People are starting your website, and when people are the B in Form 3, Form 4, Form 5, people can now build that company that will build the machine also. But before then, you probably go focus on your website. That will help people reach you guys
Yes.
and actually buy the machine. That's actually a brilliant and nice ideas. And actually, I love seeing good youths like you guys, youths that do and bring out solutions that solve problems in our community.
Yes, sir.
And if you're a youth that do this, obviously you have like the future of Africa, the future even of your country, Cameroon. So, what do you or how do you see Africa or your country, Cameroon, in 5 years to come?
In 5 years to come, I think Africa or our country Cameroon will be like more advanced. Yes, more advanced than now. Because from what I see, bit by bit, there are many young innovators. Bit by bit, there are many young innovators. So in 5 years to come, will be like Cameroon will be better than today. Will be better than now. Yes, that's what I think.
Yeah. That's actually another thing. Like we have to believe that in 5 years from now, Africa is going to be better than this. So you guys have just listened to an inspirational youth. He's just one of them. There were 5 of them in their team. 4 boys, 1 girl. The girl is actually a perfectionist. Someone that brought a lot in the team, perfecting their language, perfecting how they were pitching. And this is just one of them. And you have heard actually the inspirational words that he have had and shared to us here on our podcast. So I would like us to encourage such youth in Africa, encourage this team that was able to do such great things for our continent and even for our country, Cameroon. So press the like button, press that subscribe button to encourage these people because they're actually doing things of great and amazing. And remember this, every Wednesday and Friday at 6 a.m. exactly, we're bringing to you guys the podcast that is going to make you people get inspired, and more importantly, not just inspired, but to also have that belief that it's possible to do it in Cameroon. Being a girl, like the girl in their team, that was able to join the team, convincing the mother that she's actually going to do something of great. And again, she proved to her parents that they can do it. So that's it. Keep watching, keep listening. Every Wednesday and Friday morning, we will bring to you this podcast for you to get inspired. So subscribe and don't forget to follow on our channel. Thanks.